Hey guys, so today we're going to be dealing with the derivatives of logarithmic functions. This is a fairly easy concept, but it requires your knowledge, your pre-calc knowledge obviously, and your knowledge of your log laws. So let's get into it. Like I said, you're going to need to know your log laws, and I'm just going to give a quick refresher what I mean. Logarithmic function, well, basically something like this. Log base 10x. That is a logarithmic function, and you probably recall these from pre-calc 12. Well, so far what we have seen is stuff like ln x, and this is a logarithmic function as well. Obviously, this is just log base e, and we write it as ln. The derivative of this we found to be is just 1 over x. But what about something with log base 10 or something with log base 2? How about that? This requires a different method, and you'll need to know your log laws for this, particularly your change of base law. So let's get into it. Let's do an example. So let's deal with something like this, log base 10, and this is pretty common. So, well, we need to convert this, but what do we convert it into? So recall on the last slide I mentioned ln x, right? We know the derivative of ln x, and let me just explain again. Ln is just log base e, and e is roughly 2.71 on, and so this is just log base e. Well, what we can do is we can use our change of base log law. And how is that going to help us? Well, we're going to change this log base 10. We're going to change the base to log e, giving us ln, because we know the derivative of ln x, and that is just y prime is just 1 over x. We know the derivative of ln x. So in order to take the derivative of, log base, 10 of x, well, we can just use the change of base law to turn it into something that contains ln, because we know the derivative and how to take the derivative of ln x, or ln of something. So let's do that. So our change of base log law. So what we're going to do is, well, we want the ln base e. So what we're going to have is log e, and recalling our change of base, log e, which is ln of x. This would just come out to then log e of 10. This is change of base, and you can look this up in any textbook or on the internet. This is just a basic log law formula on how to change the base. So let's turn this into something more familiar. Log base e is just ln, and this is just ln 10. There we go. We've converted this into this, and we haven't even taken the derivative yet. All we did was just convert, just change the log base. And so now let's take the derivative, and this is fairly easy now, because it's just ln x over ln 10, and ln 10 is just a constant. So taking the derivative of this, well, just have to take the derivative of this. So what do we get? Well, we get 1 over x ln 10. Done. Because the derivative of ln x is 1 over x, and that's multiplied by 1 over ln 10. So that's pretty easy, pretty simple. Let's try a different one. Let's try something. Let's try y is equal to log base 2 of x. Log 2 of x. So let's take the derivative of this as well. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to use our change of base formula to convert this into a form that contains the ln, basically. So what we're going to do is, we got ln x. This just becomes ln x over ln 2. And now let's just take the derivative. We changed our base just like I did in the last section. So we changed our base. So now let's take the derivative. Well, what's the derivative of ln x? It's just 1 over x, and we got ln 2, so just multiply by ln 2. There we go, our derivative. This is a pretty easy thing. The only, aspect you really need to be aware of is that, you got to know your pre-calc, and you got to know your log laws, and you got to be able to see this, that, you got to change the log base, and then just take, and everything's pretty easy from there. So let's go into our last example. So I got y log 10 of x squared. So what do I do here? Well, I gotta, again, change the log base, and I want ln. So I got ln of x squared over ln 10, right? And now it's just a matter of taking the derivative. So recall, now you're gonna have to use the chain rule. So I'm just gonna put 1 ln 10 out here. And so now let's take the derivative of this, because, well, the denominator is just a constant. So let's do that. So I got 1 over x squared, right? Using the chain rule, times 2x. And there we go. That is my derivative. Done. And we can simplify this, obviously, and cancel the x's. And we just get 1 over, like 2 over, we just get basically 2 over ln 10. X ln 10. There we go. That's a little messy, but you guys get the idea. So basically overall, taking the derivative of logarithmic functions isn't very hard. It just requires you to know that, the first step is just change the log base. If you know that, you're basically good to go, because it turns out to be pretty easy from there. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.